Alright, good morning, planar geometry. Alright, so I'm sad I cannot be with you, but I am at a KCC meeting, which is good for me. So I have video recorded your lesson here for your enjoyment. Alright, so the bell work for today is centered around those criteria that you went over yesterday. So you discovered these online. So which of the following are criteria to produce congruent triangles? There are 4 of them, and it is angle, angle, side, angle, side, angle, side, 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 and then side, angle, side. Okay, so those are the 4 that are enough to produce congruent triangles every time. And so that's why we know that they are going to work for us. Okay, so what is an included side and an included angle? If you want to take a pause for a second and Google the definitions, that would be awesome. An included side is basically a side that is between 2 other angles. So I'm going to illustrate this with a diagram. So if I draw a diagram of a triangle, and I have this angle and this angle, notice between these 2 angles, there's this side. That side is an included side. Okay, kind of the same idea then for an included angle. Okay, so an included angle is if I draw a triangle, and I've got maybe this side and this side, this angle is an included angle between those 2 sides. Okay, so you'll see on that notes page from the other day that these the definition of these congruent triangle criteria is often includes things like included side and included angle, because like the difference between these 2 congruence criteria is that this side is included between these 2 angles. It's an included side, whereas this one is not an included side. Okay. All right. Okay. So just so you know what to turn in, please turn in your bell work and the congruence theorems worksheet from yesterday. If you want to check your answers, there's an answer key online on Google Classroom. Looking over that notes page from yesterday. Okay. So you've got those 4 congruence theorems in front of you. Let's go ahead and practice identifying if triangles would be congruent, and if so, by which of those theorems. Okay. Because we know, like in this case, yes, I could have a translation that maps one triangle to the other. But if I can use one of those congruence theorems, one of those congruence criteria, it'll be a lot quicker and easier. Okay? So looking at these 2, I've got these angles that match up these sides, but then I've got these sides. Notice they're not in the same position. Okay? So like this one could be side angle side, but this one's not. And so since they do not match, these triangles are going to be not congruent. Okay? Because I don't have a congruence criteria for them. These ones, however, though, so I've got a pair of angles that match up, I got a pair of sides that match up, and then don't forget, you know something about vertical angles as well. Vertical angles are congruent. So if I mark those, notice now you've got angle, side, angle on both triangles. So these triangles are congruent by angle, side, angle, congruent. Let's try another one. Okay. What about these 2? Well, I've got a pair of angles that match up, a pair of sides, or angles, another pair of angles, excuse me, and then I've got this side right here. Everything seems to correspond. Everything seems to be in the same position. And angle, angle, side would describe what's going on here. So this is a yes. Angle, angle, side, congruent. Okay. What about these 2? Don't forget those vertical angles. If they match up, definitely go with them. Okay. All right, so now that I've marked that those vertical angles are congruent, I've got angle, angle, side going on in both triangles. So this is another yes by angle, angle, side. Okay, look at this one. So you've got a pair of sides, you've got another pair of sides, and that's all we've got. So I've got this pair of sides, and then notice this pair of sides is shared in the middle. It's the same. So it's basically like congruent to itself. Okay, so this one I would go with a yes by side, side, side congruent. Okay, all right, are these triangles congruent? I've got this angle, this angle. Notice that shared side is popping up again. Okay, so if they share this side, it's congruent to itself. So angle, angle, side. So yes by angle, angle, side congruent. Okay. So that hopefully gave you a little bit of extra practice, a little bit of more clarity on what's going on with those congruence theorems. There's an exit slip for you to complete now, and then after that, a congruence concepts worksheet for you to work on as well. So please complete both of those things and turn them into my box. Have a fantastic weekend.